All right, at this time, we're joined by Aaron Henry. We'll take questions for Aaron in the chat, starting with Chris Solari.
Hey, Aaron. Obviously, a tough start to that game. Maybe when Coach found that lineup with Josh kind of running the point and you guys splitting, can you kind of talk about what you guys maybe found in that grouping there towards the end of the first half?
Some versatility. I feel like we all had guys that can get to the basket, create their own shot, and we did a good job of sharing the ball, finding where the help was coming from, and just moving it. Huge credit to Gabe today. He made shots. He did what he was supposed to do, and Rocket came in and contributed as well. But we all just played well today.
How much did you work on that lineup grouping together? Had you guys played a lot in that group of five?
Not much, but it's just in the heat of the moment. We just needed things to go our way, and coach just put that together. And huge credit to him for making the adjustment and doing something for our team.
Next question comes from Kyle Austin.
And just wondering what kind of the feeling is like in the second half when you guys finally really get it going like you did. Seemed like just a lot of joy that you guys haven't really been able to feel a whole lot lately.
Man, y'all see what we've been going through. Not many games we've won, so it's good to get one. But we were quick to remind ourselves that we've won before. We've been in situations before. We know how to win with class, know how to take things, and now we have to carry this on to the next game and try to grow.
Our next question will go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Hey, Aaron, congrats on the win. An urban poet once said you will stop losing when you fed up. You think you guys were just fed up, which is why things didn't change like that?
Yeah, he's a smart man. I think we were pretty fed up, but we just came and played together, and we got to win, man. And the guys, we all play for each other, and yeah, I kind of got that feeling of being fed up, honestly.
And a quick follow-up, you're back in your home state. Things got a little chippy. Did that take you back to high school days and just being competitive and all that came out too?
Absolutely. And I haven't won in Indiana before in college, and it'll be a nice one for me to think about in the future. But I just wanted to win the game with my team. I don't think that's bigger than that. That's the goal of every game for me.
Great, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Next question will go to Sarah Tidwell.
Hey, so after starting out slow, what was kind of said in, timeout huddles at halftime that changed that dynamic of the game and ultimately led to this victory? What was kind of motivationally said? Do you think having fans and family here helped at all?
That we have to learn to take these games for ourselves. Nobody's going to give us anything. It's the Big Ten. We had to learn, excuse my French, to strap our nuts on and really play. And it was a time that we did that, and we played well, and we did the right thing.
And then quick follow-up to that, how does it feel, you were so close to breaking your career high, just tying it?
I don't really care about that. I just wanted to win. I'm a team first guy, and any point I score goes to our team, so that's all I'm worried about.
Next, we'll go to Matt Charbonneau.
Aaron, obviously starting today, you guys are going to be playing a lot, every couple of days over the next couple of weeks. Do you kind of like that in the sense that you don't really have time to think about the big picture? You just kind of got to dial in and.
Yeah, absolutely. One game at a time. That's our mindset going in, and we have to really approach it like that and not just say it, but we have to take each day at a time and win the day, and just continue to grow every day and not take a day for granted.
Thanks, man.
Our next question will go to Rico Cooney.
Hey, Aaron, you've talked before about taking things on your shoulders and wanting to be more of a leader of this team. And today it seems you got to do that both in your output and in your play. Talk about what was different for you today, individually. What was different for you?
I try to approach every game the same. Everybody's just fed up, I guess. As Lindsey said, we're tired of just fed up with just losing, fed up with just being short, and not being prepared coming into games. And we started out that way today, and I didn't want it to be like that, especially in front of my parents. My dad and my mom are here, so I didn't want to go out like that today.
So there was a sense of pride for you today to make.
My dad was here, and I haven't seen him in a while, so I guess that gave me a boost.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and our last question for Aaron comes from Brendan Quinn.
Aaron, of late you've been playing well. How frustrating has it been that you've been playing well and at the same time have been coming up here.
I
After
can't hear you. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sure. You have personally been playing pretty well these last few weeks. I just wonder what it's been like that you have been playing well, but coming out here after every game, having to talk about losses, and kind of negative things.
Hold on. One second.
Hold on 1 second, folks. I'm sorry.
I'm blaming you, Mex.
Can we repeat that question? Sorry about that, folks.
Sure.
My bad. Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah. I was just curious. You personally have been playing well in recent weeks. And I just wonder what it's been like for you to kind of maybe see some strides on the personal side, but then still having to come out after every game and talking about losses and talking about negative things.
I try to approach it, people say I may play well, people may say I don't, but if we lose, it's not well enough for me personally. I'm a team guy, and if I don't, even if I have 50 one night and we lost, it doesn't matter. We lost, and I carry that with me everywhere I go and everything I do. Personally, I'm a team guy. That's the way I always feel.
On your teammates, anyone in particular that it was good to see hit shots, make shots, smile out there today?
Gabe and Josh for sure had to be. Gabe made some shots. That's my guy, man. To see him happy, it makes me happy, and everybody played for each other. So everybody was happy, man, no matter how anybody played. So that was the most exciting part.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for your time, Aaron. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Aaron. Sorry about that, everybody.
That's you? Yes, sir. Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
All right. At this time, we're joined by Coach Izzo. Coach, if you could start us off with an opening statement.
Well, I guess I'm happy for our guys, happy for our fans. I know it's been a miserable stretch here, but the one thing I guess I'm feeling good and proud about is, in general, we have practiced pretty good. We've had more meetings. We kept grinding it. We kept working at it. And I told you in those press conferences that they didn't kind of quit or didn't, not quit practicing well. And last night at practice, and then when we got here, we had a little shoot around. We got tested late. Joshua Langford, I thought, as good as Aaron played, I thought Josh set the tempo. We talked about being as connected as we can be, and we had to be better defensively, and we had to give some help on people. And but I thought it was really good. You can see why we missed Gabe Brown. This is the first game he looked anywhat like he was looking earlier, and I thought Rocket Watts played very well. That was really encouraging. And yet, we struggled at the 4 with Joey it seemed like Malik, there were just times where they just maybe weren't quite with it. But by committee, Marty gave us something. Joey did give us something. He scored 3 points, just didn't shoot it as well. Marcus Bingham gave us something. So we got a lot out of a lot of people in small ways. But I think the best thing was it was a great team win. And I thought Aaron was unbelievable. If Aaron and Josh play like that, we can get Joey back making shots. Then we become a real good team. Because Rocket, I thought, ran our team. We had 10 turnovers or 8 turnovers the first 7 minutes of the game, 2 the rest. That's where we're down 11, came back, and only 4 the second half. And that makes a difference for us.
We'll start with questions. First one coming from Chris Solari.
Hey, Tom, somewhere around that 9-10 minute mark when you found that lineup with Rocket and Josh and Aaron and looked like Gabe was at the 3 and Aaron at the 4, and Kithier with big minutes too. I guess, was that something that you just kind of stumbled onto because of some of those early struggles at the 4, or is that something that you like to see maybe more of?
Well, we talked about it some. Some goes on lineups, when Hunter came in the game, that possessed the problem for us defensively because he's such a good shooter. And that also at 6'7" gives us a chance to maybe go a little smaller. And, I thought I liked their team. I told Archie after, they didn't play as well. I mean, those two guys inside, Trace Jackson, we recruited him hard. I mean, he is a superstar. I mean, he made plays, he made spin plays. He just looked good to me. I mean, I think he's gotten better every year, but right now he's a lot of big guys in this league get credit. I think Trace, and love his family and everything. I think Trace has been really, really good in watching film. Thompson hasn't been as good, but he's a blue collar guy, and he tore us up a little bit in there. And so Aaron, took the challenge. Josh, I thought, helped a lot. Rocket kept his man in front of him. All those things made a difference. We still gave up a lot of points in the paint, but at the same time, we scored more points in the paint than they did.
In particular with Rocket, when you're able to balance him bringing the ball up with Aaron a couple times and Josh a lot, how much does that change maybe the dynamic of the offense to have three guys that can run the show up there?
Well, a lot. I mean, it really does. And, we have experimented with that. It's a shame that I'm still tinkering, but at the same time, I tried to tell you, you tinker because sometimes you don't do as good a job. Sometimes players don't do as good a job. And everybody kind of hung in there with us. We did go with different lineups. Rocket had a great couple days of practice. I mean, if you talk to him, it's, he really had 2 days ago, he was unbelievable in practice. And in fact, it was Dwayne Stevens that said, that's the guy I thought we were getting. And, it's been hard on him, but he's settled down. He's kind of learned how to play the position a little bit more. And that's encouraging because defensively, I didn't think he's been as good this year as he was last year. Tonight, I thought he was a lot better defensively also.
Next question, we'll go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Hey, Tom, a quick two-parter. Was today's win an example of all the things you've been explaining to us in the press conference finally coming together and catching up? And can you educate us too on the towel that you had on?
Yeah, my towel is our tribute from the NABC to John Thompson, who actually was a good friend of mine. I mean, I wouldn't say great, but good. Did a lot of our NCAA games, and he was always, he'd call me once in a while. I love the way his teams played with the Toughness, so we had something in common. Size wasn't one thing we had in common, but we had some other things in common. And so that was the tribute to John and his son. And, I'd say that for me, it's so hard. Every time I talk to you guys, I feel like I'm making excuses, and that bothers me as much as anything. And some of you guys that know me really well, I don't think I make them. If I do, post me up on it. But it's been a tough go, and just getting all those guys back together has been tough. And you miss a guy like Gabe. I mean, if Gabe doesn't hit 4 for 8 from the 3, it opened up those wings so much. Then all of a sudden in the middle, we started slipping guys and getting guys layups and dunks. It just changes the whole dynamics of everything. And Aaron, got to give him a lot of credit. He took over. And like I said, Josh had 6 rebounds. He was the best leader. He was great in the huddles. He suggested plays. Josh's 5 for 6 will go unnoticed in some ways because of, 5 for 6 isn't the greatest thing. I don't think we win the game at all without Josh Langford and all the little things he did. And the 2 things we went into the game with, little things matter, and let's stay more connected. And I thought we did a good job of both of them.
All right, thank you.
I think Matt might have frozen, so, and I can't access the chat, so could someone jump in on a question here?
Yeah, I think it was me. Hi, Tom. I want to talk a little bit about Thomas Kithier, what you thought from him. He kind of seems a little bit, he did a pretty good job on Jackson Davis. It looked like a little bit aggressive. Was that something you expected from him, and how do you kind of assess his performance?
Thomas is our best guy at forcing guys out. Markey's lack of strength hurt. And, Julius, he's got the strength, but maybe not the experience. And I think he found out that starting, he got tired quickly, like Markey did last year. And But I thought in general, Thomas Kithier did a great job, you know, in the 9-10 minutes he played. He really did do some good things. He missed that layup, or otherwise it would have been even better. But you're right, he did a decent job on Trace, and Trace is a load, man. He's a good player. When they put all those shooters, there's times they got 3 and 4 shooters in the game. When they put Hunter at the 4, they can go with 4 shooters in there. Not easy to cover, but I didn't think we did a great job on him. I thought he was hard to cover, but I thought Thomas might have done the best job. Marty did a pretty good job on him too.
Next question will go to Sarah Tidwell.
Hey, Tom. So after starting out the game kind of slow, what was said in, timeout huddles or at halftime that changed that dynamic and ultimately led to the victory? What was that motivation behind it? And do you think having fans here helps at all?
Well, it definitely would help if more of them were our fans. It would have helped if, there just weren't that many fans in there. So I don't know if it helped. I think it would really help. And I'm hoping our place lets parents in this week. I mean, we've done 2 weeks, and I really think these kids deserve to have their parents at the games, and I don't see any problem with that. So hopefully the powers that be will give us that opportunity. I think that would make a difference for the kids. I know Aaron Henry's dad was here, and that meant the world to him. The motivation, don't turn the frickin' ball over. We had 8 of them in about 7 minutes, and that was the difference of the game. But I did say it very politely in the huddle and very matter-of-factly.
Next question will go to Kyle Austin.
Seemed like it'd been a little while since you guys felt like they did there in that stretch in the second half, just kind of with that joy. How do you kind of build off of that and going forward here into a pretty tough stretch?
Yeah, we're not stupid. We dug ourselves a hole of all holes, and I don't think we just dug it. I think some of it was given to us, some of it was situations, and some of it was us. And I'm proud of a team that could go on the road against a team that was red hot. Their shooters were red hot. They were shooting in the last 5 games, 60, 50, and 45 from the 3. And we did a pretty good job on them. I'm just proud that nobody, gave in. I think a lot of people out there, just by your questions, were questioning whether they're quitting on anybody. And that's never going to happen here. And it didn't happen here. And one game doesn't make it all better. It's just that all the things I told you, you could see them, and turning the ball over is one. I mean, we were ridiculous turnovers that first 4 minutes, and give them some credit, but give us a lot of blame. And then when we settled down and we started executing some things, we really dummied up some stuff, meaning we shrunk our playbook. And I thought we did a good job. We rotated our bigs. We don't have as many guards. We did the job we could do with them, but things don't get any easier next week with 2 ranked teams on Tuesday and Thursday. But a lot more exciting to go into those with a win under your belt, where you played good too. I mean, I bet you we played 30 minutes of really good basketball, and that'll hopefully help motivate us and give us a little boost going into this wicked stretch we got.
We have 3 final questions, starting with Rico Cooney.
First of all, Tom, I'm not buying you saying anything matter-of-factly in a huddle, but that's for.
You've been surprised, Rico. It's pandemic year now. It's please would you do this and thank you for doing that. And there were a couple of we do it again. I'm gonna, get after somebody. But thank you.
Talk a little bit about I guess Aaron. He's taken a lot of body blows from outside, criticism about, his play, his leadership, and for him to come into this situation, in his home state and perform like he did. Just talk a little bit about, I guess, the Aaron Henry you saw today out there.
On a team that has struggled with different personnel at different positions, with our point guard really struggling at times, I thought he's had a pretty good year, averaging 15, 16 points. I would agree. I've talked to him a lot about his leadership. I mean, it's not an area that's just easy for him. And so I thought Foster Lawyer on the bench did a phenomenal job. That kid, I got to sit him right next to me. And Josh Langford was great. I took some of the heat off Aaron. Aaron, wanted the ball. He got 17 shots up, but I thought he made some great passes. He was unselfish. He made good decisions. So criticism, I mean, hey, people are asking me if the game passed me by, one average year in 23 years. I mean, that's the nature of the beast of these jobs and of these playing at this level. I understand it. But Aaron Henry, he does have to do more, but he is only a junior. He was no McDonald's All-American coming in. It's been grow and get better and kind of live through the process, which is sort of illegal anymore, but he's done a good job. And, I think of all the times, look at how I got killed for how I handle Aaron. Aaron is fine. I'm fine. He's getting better. For one day we got better. We'll see if we can continue that.
Quick follow-up, body language on Aaron looked different today.
There is, if you were here, I'd kiss you. Body language is my favorite thing, because I think you can read body language, again, the mental aspect of things, and I thought Josh told Aaron that yesterday in practice, and I always say the hardest thing to do for any person, you guys, me, them, is to self-evaluate. And that's where you need players telling players about that. And I thought Josh did that, and that changed a lot of things for us. So Aaron's body language was better, and Rockets was better, and Aaron and Josh deserve some credit for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll go to Graham Couch and then wrap with Matt Charbonneau.
Tom, you mentioned Rocket there, and it looked like he was kind of as calm, as a calming presence as he's been. Maybe fit is the right word, as well as he has in a while. Didn't look to be forcing things, and obviously got a lot of run because of the injury to Foster and AJ's struggles. And I'm just wondering what you saw from him and what that's telling to you about how to approach him the rest of the way.
Well, again, I think Josh is going to be speaking here. It'd be a great question for him, but he's done a great job of taking him under his wing. He shoots with him every day. And I think Rocket, 2 days ago, he had the best practice I've seen him have ever, high school, college, ever seen him. And he just kind of let the game come to him and didn't force things. And I think the guys did a good job with him, especially Josh and Aaron a little bit, but they did a good job with him. And but Rocket's body language was different. You got to realize you can make a mistake. All you got to do is admit you make the mistake, and then you move on. If you don't, that's when the issues come. So I thought Rocket, played as good as he's played, and yet you look at his stats and they weren't off the charts. But point guards, I look at the kid from Ohio State who's been so good. Not great stats, just winning. Learn how to win. He defended definitely better, and I think a lot of that had to do with we're getting now to the point where Joshua is being a player coach team. He's taken over some things, even calling some plays in the huddles, and I think you look at what he went through for 2 years, and we said it would be the middle of January before he came back, in my mind. And then he comes middle of January and gets COVID. And, he's been really solid, really good. And we just got to get him a few more shots. And but he made some big time plays. Led us in rebounding is big, especially for a guard.
We'll wrap with Matt.
Tom, I wanted to squeeze this in, but when you got ran over on the sideline early in the game, are you thinking this is just the latest thing we have to go through this? Of course, it's going to happen this year. Something like that.
But I was ticked off at the official as usual. Didn't even call a charge. I was sitting there. I didn't move. I didn't do anything. And another blind mice could not call a charge. It was unbelievable, And I said, "What do you call?" And I said, "That doesn't surprise me." So, but it was nothing, to be very honest with you. It was nothing.
And I asked Aaron real quick, is the stretch, these last 2 weeks are going to be rough with the schedule. But as part of it, almost like, at this point, practice is important, but if you could somehow get on a roll, it almost maybe helps you just to keep playing. And see how long you can run on it.
Yeah, like, coaches hate one-day preps, players love them, and we got a bunch of them coming up. But I think you're right. I think the hardest thing for me is it's a bizarre year when we're going to play like Indiana. We hadn't played them yet at the end of the year. Michigan, we haven't played them yet at the end of the year. Illinois, we haven't played. Maryland, we haven't played. A lot of first time. If it was the second time you played them, it makes the prep easier. But you know what? That's just another excuse. I mean, we're all going to go through something. I know this. It's going to be a lot easier to get up for Illinois after a win when you played well and the whole team, both in practice and games, were responsible than it would have been with a loss. So I'm proud of this team because we hung in there. Some teams would have quit. They never did. I told you that the whole time. But we got a long way to go yet. But we're still breathing. We still looking forward to Tuesday night now. That's all we're looking forward to.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Guys.
All right, we're going to be joined here in a second by Gabe Brown, and then we'll wrap with Joshua Langford. There's Gabe right there. We'll take questions for Gabe in the chat. Starting with Kyle Austin.
Gabe, I guess I'm wondering, first of all, how long did it take you after, your break to get off and kind of start feeling normal out there, feel like you had your conditioning and kind of feel like yourself again?
It took a while because I was just sitting for a lot of days and not playing and not doing anything. So it was a while, but I feel like everything is coming back along. I'm working 10 times as hard on getting back in shape and just doing the little things in order for me to help this team.
Next, we'll go to Chris Solari.
Hey, Gabe, at the end of that first half, the lineup you guys had out there with you at the 4 and Aaron at the 3, I guess, or excuse me, the other way around. I think you were playing the 4 and Aaron at the 3. Never mind. Anyways, how much did that versatility help you and help the offense maybe do some different things after that slow start?
I felt it helped a lot. It put us in a small ball situation, which their bigs had to guard us. It stretched us out a little bit more, and Henny, Rock, Josh, they did a lot of great things and just finding me, finding the open guys, and just getting the job done.
Next, we'll go to Brendan Quinn.
Gabe, of late, you're just trying to find your stroke. Can you kind of just talk us through that process of being a shooter that's just kind of, you got to keep getting them up and just wait for that day to come. What's that? How do you kind of go through that process?
It's just a lot of work. I mean, I work on my game a lot, and I just believe in myself. Every time I shoot it, I just feel like it's gonna go in. So every shot that I take, I never feel like it's a bad shot because that's what I am. I can shoot the ball.
With maybe some frustrations that you've had this year, I don't know if it's really gone probably the way you expected or hoped. Just how big is it for you to find something here these last few weeks and kind of generate something out of this season for yourself?
It's very big. At the end of the day, I just want to win. I mean, I want this team to win. I want us to do something special. I mean, we got a special group of guys. Everyone is taking accountable for the things that they're doing. So I really just, at the end of the day, I just want to win and I just want to be happy, and I am.
Thanks, man.
Next up, Rico Cooney.
Hey, Gabe, talk a little bit about Henny and maybe what you may have noticed from him before the game or during the game that he was so dialed in and so clicked in to have the kind of day that he had today.
It's just how he is. I mean, Henny is a great leader. Henny does the right things off the court. Henny does a good job of everything. So, and he's back in his home state. He never won. So this was big for him, and he did an excellent job of just getting guys involved, scoring the ball, rebounding, doing a lot of great things out there. Proud of him.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next, we'll go to Nick Manis.
Hey, Gabe, when it comes to the confidence of this team and the way you guys were playing today, it seems like you had a little bit more jump in the way you guys were flying around. Was there something that just kind of motivated you a little bit more besides, the obvious of needing to win out? Was there something that just gave you guys a little bit more confidence today?
One thing we wanted to do is play connected. That's what Coach instilled in us today and throughout the past week. He wanted us to be connected And I felt like that's one of the things why when we was out there, we were connected, we were talking to each other, coming in the huddles, not arguing, not doing things like that. I felt everyone was with the team and everyone felt like they wanted to be here and wanted to win.
All right, Gabe, that's all the questions we had for you today. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to be joined by Josh Langford here in a second. Josh will be our last guy here today. There's Josh there. We'll start with a question from Lindsey Huddleston.
Yes, I'm sorry. Hey, Jay, congratulations on the win. Coach Izzo has given you a new title, assistant coach, without the pay. But when you were out, before you came back, did you envision that you would be taking on such a vocal role as like a leader of your team, or did this just kind of morph based on the needs of the team?
I think was a mixture of both. I just think that, kind of my makeup as a person, but also just how my teammates see me as well. I didn't elect myself as a captain, my teammates did. And I think that's a big honor. So, but it's also a big responsibility. And so I just think that, Coach he's one of the greatest leaders that I've ever been around. I think he's one of the greatest leaders to ever live. It may be a little biased, but that's just my opinion. I'm with him every day. So, just being around him and also being around my teammates, those guys, looking to me, it helps me be encouraged to step up and lead. And so that's, tonight I really just wanted to come out and just keep a good attitude. That's something that we talked about as a team, regardless of what happens, regardless of what we see, keep a good attitude. And that's, that's what I wanted to do personally. And I think that's what we wanted to do as a team. And I feel like when you do that, the right results will follow.
Great. Thank you for that.
Next, we'll go to Chris Solari.
Hey, Josh, you mentioned about the attitude. I guess in those first 10 minutes of the first half, what do you feel the attitude of the team was before you kind of fell into that lineup that really seemed to gel? And I guess what was the attitude after you saw it?
So you said the last part again?
What was the attitude like after everything, after the shots started falling for you guys?
Well, I think that's the thing. You don't want to have your attitude based upon results, because if your attitude is based upon results, you'll be just like this. What we wanted to do, we wanted to be consistent regardless of what we seen. And that's what that was our mindset. And it was easy. It would have been easy for us to just throw in the towel when they made that run early on in the first half. But, to everybody's credit, we stayed solid and we kept the right attitude. Attitude is not necessarily about you not feeling something, but it's about you controlling your response based upon that feeling. And, that's what we wanted to do. And I feel like we did a pretty good job of it tonight.
As a follow with that, I was gonna say, as a follow with that grouping you had where you were bringing up the ball quite a bit. I guess, what did you see in that group, the versatility maybe that you guys had that allowed you guys to go on that run to get back in?
What I've seen is just everybody just trying to win. Obviously, that's not something that I've played in the past here, but, at the end of the day, like I said earlier, in the previous question, I'm just trying to be here to help my teammates win. And I think at this point, everybody, has one goal. We had that goal consistently, but everybody is honing in even more on the goal of just doing your job, but doing it for each other. The coach the saying that coach had throughout the whole pregame and even before today was the word connected. And that's what we wanted to be. And I feel like that's what we did.
Next, we'll go to Brendan Quinn.
Josh, we were told earlier that you've even called some plays in some huddles. Wonder if you have any examples of anything you dialed up today.
Everybody was pitching in today. It's just some things I've seen. It wasn't even just offensively, but also defensively as well. That I kind of spoke on. But, like I said before, everybody's just trying to do their job. And, when your back is against the wall and when you feel like your back is against the wall, it's okay to feel the feeling of wanting to quit, but it's not okay to embrace that feeling and quit. And I think nobody has quit, and everybody's been trying to pitch in. And so, with that coming of me, throwing in, pitching in plays, is just me just trying to pitch in for the team and, help where I can.
You're the only senior on this team. I wonder what you thought, or how your teammates might have responded to what Tom said earlier this week about these last few weeks kind of being an audition for next year. You're not coming back, but I imagine other people, players would kind of, I don't know, have to interpret what he said in some way or another.
Can you repeat that question? I'm not getting the full understanding.
You're obviously the only senior on the team. Tom said earlier this week to us, that the last few games are auditions.
Yeah.
For everyone else. I wonder how you think your teammates might have interpreted that.
I mean, I think they interpreted well. Everybody, like I said, as much as we're talking, next year has been brought up, we're still here. And I think everybody's trying to focus in on, just taking it one game at a time and being present in each moment and just giving all you got. And, that's all coach is asking for. He's asking for us to give all we have. He's not asking us to be perfect. He's just asking us to be consistent. And so, that's what he asks for us. That's what he's always asked of his players. And I think, that's what we're kind of growing into. And I think we've seen some of that tonight.
Thank you, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Apologies for the poorly worded question.
Huh?
All right, we have time for one more. We'll go to Graham Couch for our last question.
Josh, wanted to ask you about Rocket Watts, and he seemed to me is maybe as connected or fitting as well as he had. I think Tom Izzo said the game came to him. He's had a couple of good practices. As somebody who is, and he talked about your influence on him a little bit. I'm wondering what you have said to him and what you've seen from him as he tries to emerge what's been kind of a nightmarish season, and why he looked different today.
Well, I mean, I think one thing about Rocket is that he's a fighter. He's not going to give up. And he's somebody who's always going to keep giving his all, regardless of what is going on. And I think that just speaks volumes to his character, that he hasn't thrown in the towel, that he hasn't, folded. I think it's really easy, especially in this time, this time of how the season is going right now, with COVID and all the other things that's happening. And then you seeing other players kind of maybe throwing in the towel. It's easy to quit right now, but Rocket hasn't quit. He's continuously come to practice and he's continuously giving his all. And I think, tonight was just a part of, him reaping a reward of just continuously enduring and persevering.
Having to play so many minutes, does that help a guy like him get into a comfort place? And I mean, how different did he look to you than he has some other nights tonight?
Man, he looked calm tonight. And I think I heard Coach talk about it earlier, but he had one of his best practices that I've seen as well since I've been here. And I was here last year. I didn't get to play with him, but I was here. And so I think it just speaks to his maturity and how he's learning. And, him being out there more on the court, of course, I think that gives him a better flow. But at the end of the day, I think Rocket's focus is just trying to do the best he can for the team so we can, reach our full potential.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Josh, appreciate your time tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, and that's going to wrap us here this afternoon. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
Thank you, Matt.